The Architectural Review Board of the Town of Southampton now come to order. I am required to make the following statement. Welcome to the May 18th, 2021 meeting of the Town of Southampton Architectural Review Board. In accordance with the Governor's Executive Order 202.1, we will be proceeding differently from our typical meetings. Until further notice, all the board's meetings will be held remotely via video conference. So we ask the public to continually check the town's website for updates and new information. The link to participate in this meeting via Zoom can be found on the town's website. This meeting is also being live streamed on the town's website. If you do not wish to speak at the meeting, but you would like to submit comments for the public record, the link to submit comments can also be found on the town's website. This concludes the required comments. Mr. Rump is in town hall right now and not able to come into the meeting. Mr. Burke, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Sure.
Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
States of
America,
America,
and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and
justice for all. Thank you, Mr. Burke. Mr. Jankowski, the board secretary, please perform the roll call.
Mr. Burke,
Here.
Ms. Keys,
Here.
and Mr. Chairman, and myself. So we have a quorum.
Yeah, we have a quorum. Thank you, Mr. Jankowski. Did the board review the minutes of May 14th, 2021 meeting?
Yes, we did.
Okay, are there any errors or omissions?
None.
If none, do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
And do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None. Okay, any old business to come before the board before we start on the agenda? None? Then we'll start with the agenda. And I just want to make an announcement on this. The third item on the agenda, the Burke subdivision, I'd like to put that toward the end of the meeting next to Bridgehampton Commons. Any objection?
Mike, just before that, I just spoke with Anthony. He said that that's going to be off the agenda.
It is?
Yep.
Okay, so we'll just strike. That's the Burke subdivision. Thank
Correct.
you very much, Matthew.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Okay, the first item on the agenda, and this is a preliminary residential review, 370 Fowler Street Watermill. Is Ms. Shimon there, and can she bring up the drawings? I think we're
Can't hear
having
anything.
difficulty here. Okay, hi.
John Bennett's there. Does he have the drawings?
Yeah.
The architect was supposed to join.
Yes, Andrei Kukowski. Do you see him?
So I got him. I have him.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. I think he wants to share his screen.
He's coming in. Yep.
Okay,
Excellent.
fine. Then, all right, Mr. Bennett, you'll explain this project to us?
Well, I'm going to have the architect, Andrei, who's with us, explain the aesthetics and the renderings and the elevations of it. But essentially, it's a single-family residence on one of three lots, the most westerly lot of the Padone Gladstein subdivision. It's interesting, these lots have all been redeveloped. The house to the far end, the east, is a contemporary house by Leroy Street Architectures, a client of ours built. Then in the middle, there's actually another client of ours has a very, very contemporary glass and steel house. That's the middle lot. And I think what you're going to find is this, if I may say so, stepping a little bit out of my day job, what you're going to find is the proposal is taking what's rather prosaic, unexciting shingle style house, and converting it to something not only much more pleasant and refreshing, but something that from an environmental point of view is a hands down winner. We're lifting it up to conform with FEMA, and we're doing some stuff in terms of minimizing the environmental impact, not only from a natural resources point of view on the site, but just the way we're building the house. But I'll let Andre go through the elevations, and I think there's one rendering with you, and answer any questions that you have, and stand by to see if there's any questions that Andre needs a hand with. Probably not.
Okay. All right, fine.
Good morning, and thank you all for your time and your attention to this matter. My colleague Liam Harris is also on, and he's going to be running the slides for us. So,
Andre, just identify yourself. Andre, just
sure.
identify yourself.
I'm Andre Kikoski from Andre Kikoski Architects in New York. We are 2 decades of experience working principally in New York City. And of late, we've been very fortunate to work out east, where our office has had some impact of late. I've been going out east since 1995, right after I finished graduate school, and I think it is one of the most beautiful and special places in the world. And so we approach any opportunity to work out there with great care and consideration that we're contributing to what makes this a beautiful place in everything that we do. So as John mentioned, we'd like to show you our proposal for 370 Fowler Street. The original house currently on the property is a 1980s house with big swooping gables. And it's a bright blue shingled structure. And we wanted to come up with something that was more part of the vernacular of this particular part of Watermill, in particular, the entrance past Fowler Farm, which is sort of quite beautiful to us. So the house is intact. The original footprint, the roof line of the house is intact. The configuration is intact. And so this slide shows our site plan, where the pool is preserved, the house is preserved, and as John stated, we're simply lifting the house up to FEMA compliance. So the site plan is very straightforward. The ground floor has a 300 square foot entry zone right off the driveway, and is otherwise storage and parking. And then when you go up a level to the first floor, the house is currently an upside down house, and we are preserving that. So there's a central axial staircase and landing opening into a den. Otherwise, it's bedrooms and mechanical rooms and some family lounge space, with a pool house at the end of the pool, which is also existing. And then we go up a level to the second floor of the house, where with a few tweaks, the plan is intact as well. There's a large lofty living room where you actually see through the house. Adjacent to that is the dining room and media room, with the current kitchen in the nib addressing the pool. And then to the page left of the living room, we have the master suite with a sitting room and his and her baths. So again, we've stayed within the condition line of the existing structure with regards to the floor plan. The next page will show the same is true with the roof line. So we can look at the elevations of the house. And what we've done is twofold. One is we wanted to remove a lot of the extraneous flourishes, wing walls that had nothing behind them, huge sweeping roof lines that didn't really contribute anything to the aesthetic of the house. And instead we thought of a board and batten style farmhouse structure where we wanted to clean up the massing and really pare down the house so that it's very crisp and clean. And of course, we wanted to open it up to the view. So the house is on a plinth of a tumbled limestone and granite mix. And then above that, we have a vertical patterned material that resembles board and batten. What we thought, given the particulars of the oceanfront and the microclimate, the effect that it has on wood and siding, this material is actually a manufactured stone. It's comprised of cement, marble dust, and resin, particularly suited for oceanfront application. And there's a vertical line in it that you'll see in the renderings that gives it a nice and quite beautiful scale. The roof also is a shingle style roof with a dramatically simplified roof line. And we are very sensitive to the environmental impact of this property and are working with Tesla to have solar collecting tiles on the roof. So the front of the house is essentially a farmhouse style approach that's very crisp and clean. The back of the house is opened to the ocean views beyond. The Petrarch paneling system that I was talking about wraps everything above the plinth, and below the plinth, which will be obscured largely by the growth on the dunes, is a simple and very quiet stucco on the back of the house, whereas on the front of the house, it's the limestone we discussed. So it's a very kind of crisp and clean and simple approach to the front and rear elevations. There are also side elevations showing the existing octagonal structure at one end of the house, sections through the pool, and a very simple and streamlined pool house at the end of the pool as well. And we've incorporated, plantings throughout. So there are live green walls that live on the house as well. And I believe we could show you the materials. So the Tesla roof tiles look like a slate tile, very simple and very clean. The siding at the base is a blend of 3 different types of limestone veneer in different sizes and colors to give it a casual and vernacular feeling, as if there's a bit of history to it. The exterior wood trim, we're looking at a cedar, a natural weathing material, and the siding material is a Petrarch engineered stone in a rain screen pattern. And so what you see, what's so fascinating about the material to us is that they pour this against large sheets of cleft slate. So it actually looks, it has a beautiful stone-like quality. There's shade and shadow even in this scan on this board. And then we're going in and routing in vertical joints every 3 inches on center, which would give the appearance of a wood structure as well. So it's a very interesting material and one that's particularly suited for the harsh, salty conditions of the oceanfront. And then, as we mentioned, the foundation is trimmed in stucco in a complementary grade texture, and trim and gutter is in a powder coated aluminum. Our window systems are a large format sliding, the Revival Core Vision Plus, where the mullions are about 3/4 of an inch. Casement windows have a heftier frame, but it's all part of a consistent package of lower profile mullions, very crisp and clean and coordinated. There's some glass block allowing light into the basement spaces on the ocean side, and a 4-panel garage door with wood. Again, referencing what you would see traditionally, and it with a slightly cleaner twist. And we also have shown our door hardware as directed on the application. And so the next image shows how this all comes together with the large principal entry place volume pointed out. There's a canopy, a wood trimmed canopy that's planted that you drive below, a large central bay with the internal staircase on the left of that, and landings and sitting rooms above it. And you get to see the very kind of fine texture of the ribbon panels, the Petrarch panels, which has a nice play of shade and shadow, even in the rendering. And again, the stone reappears as trim on the chimney. So, you know, we thought of how beautiful this would be, how the material is compelling because it will look just as crisp and clean 10 years from now as the day it goes up. So the idea that, you know, the aesthetics of the house are very much considered part of the vernacular of the farmhouse, and also to weather beautifully on the site, that they really feel like they kind of belong there. And then the back of the house, which is on the next slide, shows how the house really just opens up to the view and takes advantage of its setting on the dunes, really following the openings, the apertures of the existing residents, and we've just kind of enlarged them to take advantage of the waterfront location. And again, very, very simple and clean. You know, there were reasons why we also wanted to break the plinth from the house above, but I just wanted to introduce the design approach and our intent to look to the vernacular that's, you know, part of the farm tradition as you pull into Fowler as an inspiration, and also to talk about our research into sustainable materials that are recycled and energy efficient and appropriate to the climate of the site.
Okay, yeah, thank you. It's quite a complete presentation. I'm the lead board member on this application. My comments are this, and this, bear in mind, this is a preliminary, so we will not be voting on it. First of all, I think this is an improvement over what is existing. The house that is there now almost looks out of place. And I think this will probably upgrade the neighborhood also in that area. I don't have a problem with it. One question I do have, what is going to be the square footage of the residence afterwards?
Liam, do you have the tabulation of the existing versus where we wind up? Basically, while it looks, oh, here we go. Thank you.
Okay.
Just the facts, Liam.
Yeah.
So here we go. So the first floor, the principal dwelling is 6,000 square feet. And the second floor is 4,000 square feet.
Okay. Okay, when you do submit this, it will have to come before a full board review because of the square footage.
Okay, got it.
So, I mean, and that's my comments. Mr. Jankowski, comments?
I think it looks good. I like how we kept pretty much the same layout that the original house had. And I think you did a really good job, Andre. It looks really good.
Yeah. Thank you. We have exceptionally wonderful clients, and And they've also wanted to do something that is thoughtful and meaningful. So we're lucky that we have such a wonderful team.
Okay.
So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jankowski. Mr. Burke, comments?
No, I was just curious if the Tesla roof panels cover the entire house. They cover the entire structure.
They do, except for the flat portion on top of the house.
Right.
And then it's just simply a question of, based on a solar map that they prepare, some of the tiles are active and some of the tiles are not active, but there's a consistent aesthetic of all of them.
Okay.
I was
Thank you.
happy to see this. This looks like we can maybe get past that ungainly panel impasse so that you have something that pretty much looks like black slate and is uniform as opposed to sticking out. No matter what you do with the current solar panel technology, it looks like a sore thumb. This is just so exciting, actually. I think.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, right now, that's all I'm using is the Tesla panels.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, great.
So anyway, Ms. Keys, comments?
I agree that the place is beautiful, and I think it's fantastic. I love the Tesla tiles. I really would like to see a landscape view and where in the dunes all of that decking is going. Because is that new, the decking and just from the version of from the beach view? You know,
None
that's
of the,
only,
sure. Did you want me to respond to that?
I would like you to, there's a pool in the dunes here? Is that new?
No,
The-
no. The pool is right. It is everything has to be behind the existing southerly face of the house. And on everything that's being done here has not only been conformed but vetted with the building department. But yeah, well, I think it would be helpful to have a site plan
Right.
which shows that.
I also feel that it's being that it's on the dunes, there's two real faces. You know, the face that the water sees is as important as the face from the front. So I'm just curious as to what that view is and how much decking is into the dunes. Just curious, but I do think it's beautiful also.
Well,
So-
again,
I
I'll just say that none of it is actually in the dune. That's just as a lawyer, a land use lawyer. I just want to. We're not in the dune.
Thank you. But it's the view also is the. Thank you.
Of course.
And
Andre,
I would just clarify that all of the existing outdoor decking is remaining. It's just moving up vertically. So there's no new expansion beyond the existing footprint of the house.
thank you.
The sole
very
exception is behind the pool house. We've added a triangular wedge, which Liam can sketch out.
But that's on the landward. That's on the landward side of the house. No,
That's on the landward side, and it's
Yeah.
a cantilevered area, and it was
Mhm.
pre-approved by the health department, Department of Buildings.
Okay, thank you very
So
much.
no impact, no expansion
Thank
beyond
you.
what's there. Of
Andre,
course.
can we for the formal presentation? Can we get a line of sight or a view to see what the person in the dune is going? I'm sorry, on the beach is going to see. I think that was one of the concerns.
Yeah, we can certainly create that rendering. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, fine. Thank you, Mr. Bennett, for that suggestion. I was going to make it if you didn't, but
Sorry.
Anyway, okay. Is there any comments or questions you have of the board before we adjourn this?
I don't think so. I think it's been very, 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 very helpful. And I think we're done, right, Andre?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. And I think it's very helpful with all the drawings you had and the presentation. Okay, and we will see you for the final then.
Thank you
very
so much.
Right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, are there any comments from the public on this, Charles?
I see no hands.
Okay, thank you. All right, next is a site plan review signage. Matthew, I believe you're gonna present this.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'll be brief because I know you guys have a pretty full agenda.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
56 Flying Point Road, Watermill.
Correct.
Right, okay,
These are the signage associated with Flying Point 1 and 2. This is on the corner of Montauk Highway and Flying Point Road.
Do you have someone coming in?
Nope, just me, Charles.
All
Just so an aerial where you guys can get situated here. This is where County Road 39 ends over here. Flying Point Road is here. Montauk Highway is for this site. This is the Flying Point site plan that was approved back in 2016. So they're doing 2 signs, one on each property. There's going to be a monument sign. Oops, sorry about that. Located here on the corner, so wedge shape, and then a directory sign as you come in off Flying Point Road, which is here. And then I do have some renderings. Pull it up for you. So this is going to be the monument sign as proposed on Montauk Highway. This is similar to, if you recall, the Farrell site plan in Bridgehampton. He has an existing sign that looks like this. It's a sort of brushed metal with blue. This is going to be along Montauk Highway. Let me go back. The other view. The view from above, measurements, it all conforms to code in terms of the size. And this will be the directory sign. So this will be off Flying Point Road, just to tell you what's, within the complex. Very simple, same colors, brushed aluminum, and the blue with the Pantone number on the top.
okay, Matthew, we went over one of these at one time.
Okay.
Everyone on the board had concerns about that monument sign in the front.
This one. Yep.
Yeah, wanted it smaller, wanted it less reflective.
Yep.
And is that going to be the case, or?
I believe it's smaller than the old one. I'll have to verify. In terms of reflective, I couldn't tell you. It's a stainless steel. I know it's a polish, so it's not a mirror finish, but I imagine it's metal, so there might be something
Because
to it.
this is a concern, a safety concern also,
Correct.
especially in that area.
Okay.
And that's why all of us, I think, were in agreement on letting him put a larger directory sign
Mhm.
where you're proposing that new directory sign.
Yeah.
Not here, but the other
Correct.
one. Could you get back to us on that then?
Yeah, I'll speak to the applicant. I'll be able to give you guys an update.
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there. If you're comfortable with the directory sign, we can move forward with that. That's fine. And then
Yeah,
I can send them back for the monument.
Okay, yeah, I'm the lead on this anyway. Again, I don't have a problem with it. I would even, if you wanted to make it larger, I was okay with it because it's not going to be facing the busy intersections or whatever.
Mhm.
So, but it's the blue, and I guess this is almost what we had seen before, but it looks like it's in a smaller section. I'm okay with this. I don't have a problem with it. Mr. Jankowski, comments?
Matthew, just go back to the first one and then the site plan, just to see where it is.
Right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can see that.
And what's the setback on that?
It's 20 feet from the property lines.
It is, right? All right. And it looks low and it looks,
It
I'm
is
going to
low.
guess that metal's probably going to be like a dull kind of finish.
Correct. Yep. It's
And I like I love the fact that you can see the Montauk Highway 2. I like that for EMS stuff, and that's nice and big. So that looks, I don't have any issues with it.
okay.
Okay, Mr. Burke?
The monument.
I agree with Ted. I don't have any issues with the with either.
Okay, Ms. Keys?
I have no issues.
Okay, on this one, this is an administrative review.
It's a site plan. It's planning board approval.
Oh, okay, then you're going to get just a transmittal letter.
Correct.
Okay, now what about the directory sign? Like I said, I don't have a problem with that at all. Mr. Jankowski?
Yeah, same. No issues with that whatsoever.
Okay, Mr. Burke?
No issues.
Ms. Keys?
None here.
Okay, fine. Then are there any comments from the public on this? If none, then we'll just send a transmittal letter to the planning board.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Don't go away, Matthew.
Charles, for the next one, can you let InterScience in? It'll be Mike Shiana, but I think it's under InterScience.
Yep.
And Mike's going to actually give you guys a brief presentation on this ag construction.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
Hi.
Okay. So we are, this is an agricultural property in the middle of a residential development. And we are proposing a agricultural building in as far away from all of these surrounding properties as possible. And the existing, the agricultural building is not going to have any plumbing or anything like that. It's just for the storage of some equipment for the nursery, and the plans provided renderings, and there's also a lean-to that's on the south side of the building, just for the storage of some equipment and some other materials. Although it's surrounded by residential properties, I was actually just out there yesterday, and you can see this is looking west. All sides around where the barn is going to be are completely screened with tall trees. So I do not believe that any of the neighboring properties will be able to see the building. The building was also, the colors that were chosen should also blend into the landscape and blend in with the screening that are on the property lines. So I don't believe that it will really have much of a visual impact, if any, to the neighboring properties. So I welcome the board's comments.
Okay, Mr. Rump is not available. He would be the lead on this. So I will take his place on it. I'm familiar with the lot and the area. I do not have a problem with it, especially since you're screening it on all sides. I have no issues. Mr. Jankowski, comments?
I'm going to go with you on this one. No issues whatsoever.
Okay, Mr. Burke?
I agree. No issues here.
Okay, Ms. Keys?
No issues.
Okay,
issues.
fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, Matthew, we will be sending over a transmittal letter on this.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay, thanks. And I
No
see
problem.
that
Thanks, Matt.
there's no comments from the public on this, so that's all right. Next, we have Atlantic Golf Club, 1640 Scuttle Hole Road, Bridgehampton. And Ms. Shea, thank you for being here. We are not able to hear you. We can't hear you.
I'm no longer muted.
Okay.
Nice to see everyone. If you could let Tony Panza in, Charles.
He is in.
Great.
Tony, start your video. There you go.
Hello.
Hi, Tony.
Hi.
Do you mind sharing your screen, Tony?
No problem.
Oh, that'd be great. And so I'm gonna have Tony do the, I'm gonna have Tony do the explanation on this project. It's for a staff housing located on Scuttle Hole Road associated with the Atlantic Golf Club. Planning board has reviewed this as a pre-submission and now it is a site plan application. This is the referral to the ARB for the project. They have incorporated some screening from the neighbors and also some screening from the road, but being sensitive to the vista associated with Shorts Pond, which you can see in the upper right corner, left corner there. But I'm going to have Tony speak to the project, and if you have any questions, I'll be here for you.
Good morning, Tony Panza, Rogers McCagg, speaking on behalf of Atlantic Golf Club. As Claire mentioned, we have a staff housing project. There's a field currently off of Scuttle Hole Road. This is a gully with wooded area back behind. We've located it, the structure outside of the wetland setback and balanced it with a significant setback from the side yard. So this is just using an aerial. The reason why this was up, as if you're familiar with this area of Scuttle Hole Road, and I can go to another image, most of the structures all along Scuttle Hole Road have green giants or other evergreens. And we had originally proposed to do the same, but after speaking with Marty Shea, he preferred that we try to use some of the landscaping that's significant to the south. So you'll see that in the landscape plan. But also, as people have been driving south on Scuttle Hole Road for quite some time, there's this vista that you get of Shorts Pond. So we did not continue the plantings all the way down to make certain that we leave that vista there. Here is a, just to kind of show you along Scuttle Hole, if you can see, these are all the green giants and everything else that continue along there. And then the structure would be back in here, and then you'd have the vista going into Shorts Pond. And so there's the landscape plan. You can make that a little bit larger. That has, instead of the green giants, it does have the screening in the back, but it has trees that match what's going down Scuttle Hole Road there. And then here's the vista going in. So still obscuring most of the structure, both in this area here, and also towards the parking. There, it's this view here would be the view if you were inside of the hedgerow. Looking for a farmhouse aesthetic, cedar shingles, white trim. It's an asphalt shingle roof. And the massing was done such that, if I show you the back of the structure, which is what faces the gully, this is the back of the structure here. So that's where we basically kept the larger elevation and broke down the front elevation, recessing the two sides with a small entrance over to the side. And the plantings are shown here as best we could, but they're also on the landscape plan, and smaller protected entry, not trying to do anything overstated, but fitting in as much as we can on Scuttle Hole Road. The footprint of this structure is 3,000 square feet, and has a smaller footprint than if you can look at the neighboring adjacent structures. Sorry. And in terms of the plans, first floor plan, the bedrooms and everything located towards the back, and small lounge and kitchen towards the front with some storage and laundry. If there's any questions, be glad to take them.
Okay, well, we'll have comments, and Mr. Rump is the lead, but since he had to recuse himself anyway. Mr. Jankowski, I think you're more familiar with this golf course area than I am. And would you mind taking over as the lead on this?
Not a problem. Tony, can you go back to that one that was like the aerial view that showed the other houses, the neighbors?
Yep. This here?
Yeah. Now, do you guys own that little one also? Is that you guys?
No,
No. All right. And then the house is going where the dirt is that I can see right here, right?
it's going over here.
Oh, so it's going to be in front of that one. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
over-
I couldn't figure out just even from this map. All right, awesome. So that's where that's going. So that house already has screening and stuff like that, and you're going to take care of the front. So I think it's good.
We're actually adding screening, oops, sorry. We are adding to the screening along there as well.
I got no issues then. Good job.
Okay. Mr. Burke, comments?
No, no issues.
Okay, Ms. Keys, comments?
Yeah, sorry. How many bedrooms is this house?
We have, let me go back to the plan for you. It's a staff housing. So you have you have 8 on the one. And then there are 6 up above.
So it's 12 bedrooms. And what are the tiles? What is the outside paneling?
Cedar, the siding,
Cedar? It's all cedar siding,
it's all cedar siding, yes.
and the roof?
The roof is asphalt shingle.
I mean, it's okay. It's just, it's large. It's big. It's a big structure right there, and I actually know where it is because I have my horse right behind there. And the vista right there is that it's going to block is pretty beautiful. I mean, I drive that road all the time. And so I just wonder how you're really going to block because the pond is right there.
Yeah, that's the vista that we wanted to, that's why we cited where we did. This doesn't help on Google. There happened to,
Sorry.
this was during the Classic a few years back when they sometimes, but the vista is there and that's the anticipated to continue that.
But then it's all going to be screened through there. I mean, it's basically lost, even though.
Well, the
long
screening would be here. So if I move back up the road, the screening is here so that as you're coming down, again, sorry that the truck is in the way, but I promise you Shorts Pond is behind that.
Okay. I mean, it's just a shame because it's such a beautiful spot. And that whole area is just changing so quickly. It just isn't, anyway. It's, all right.
Okay, that concludes your comments, Ms. Keys?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, I do not have a difficulty with it. I share Ms. Keys's concern for the view of the pond. And from what I'm seeing, I think you will still see it. Even with this residence in place and their screening. So you will get a view as you pass on the road. Would like to ask a question. Does Atlantic own that pond?
It's part of the, within the Atlantic, whether or not you can own a pond, I guess that was a separate question.
Well, do you own the land around the pond?
Yes, yes.
Okay, that's my question. Then you have actual authority to make sure that the people traveling on the road can see the pond.
Yes, Atlantic owns the land in here. Yes,
Right.
It's contiguous. It's a contiguous portion of the golf club.
Right. So I think that is important to keep that
Yeah.
view of the pond, even though it's going to be less than before, because that would be a nice sequential experience for people on Scuttle Hole Road. But as far as the project, I don't have a problem with it at all. I think you've sufficiently screened it, and I think it'll blend into the area. Okay, Ms. Shea,
Yeah, okay, so we have your comments.
you
on
have
the
our
application.
comments, and we'll be sending a transmittal letter. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I believe Mr. Burke has to recuse himself from this next one. This is going to be the Bridgehampton Commons master sign plan and individual sign reviews.
Yes, thank you. Thanks.
Okay.
Is that the last item on the agenda?
That's the last item, and there's enough of us to adjourn the meeting, so.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
All right. And thank you, everyone, for this last one. Okay. Next, we have, this is a holdover, Bridgehampton Commons Master Sign Plan and Individual Sign Reviews. And Ms. Claire Shea, Assistant Town Planning Director, is in charge of this project. Mr. Rump is a lead board member, but he has to recuse himself, so I will take over his place with comments and decisions on it. I have consulted our attorney, our Architectural Review Board attorney, and regarding this master plan, we have methods, I think, to efficiently take care of this. And I'd like to go through that. First is I'd like to do a vote for the board on the master sign plan referral. And this is a vote to recommend approval only if the plan is revised to indicate that ARB must review all signs with a logo regardless of store size. I believe this was the consensus in the last meeting. Comments, Mr. Jankowski?
What about us? Are we gonna get the storm here?
No, I agree with that. So just to confirm though, if it is the smaller signs and they're not gonna have a logo, then they're able to just put them up. They don't have to come to us as long as they maintain the color scheme and sizing, correct?
That's correct.
Yep, no, I'm okay with that.
Okay, Ms. Keys,
I am
comment?
also okay with that.
Okay, fine, and I totally agree with that too. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'm going to let the applicant, I don't know if the applicant wanted to make any further comments before you vote?
Yes,
Sure.
this is Timothy S. McCully, Burke and Sullivan,
Yeah.
41 Meeting House Lane for the applicant. I understand that you want to review the logos, but that has to exclude the logos that are there now. They've
No.
got to- Okay, you do what you want.
All right, this was not what we had agreed to in the last meeting.
Nobody asked you.
So,
You know, I made that same objection at the last meeting, that I didn't want to go backwards on the logos that are already there.
well, we're going to be voting on all of the existing signs.
Okay,
So,
okay, I mean, you're the board, you have the votes, you do what you think is appropriate.
Okay, fine. Okay, thank you, Ms. Doyle. Mr. Jankowski, did you make a motion on this?
I was getting ready to, so I'll make a motion to approve the master plan so that the smaller signs, as long as they stick within the parameters and the color schemes, that they don't have to come to us, but any sign that will have a logo has to come in front of us.
Correct. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
No.
None. Okay, fine. Okay, next, the signs for the smaller stores. I sent everyone copies of this. I'd like to go through it now, and we'll just go through them one by one on approving the new designs on these signs. The first one is American Pie Pizzeria. Okay.
Do you need me to share the screen, or would you like the applicant to share the screen?
If they can, it would be quicker, I believe.
Hi, can you do that, Mike? Or you want me to do it?
Yep.
Great, thanks.
Okay.
With logos, I think there were only about half a dozen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, this is one of
We're
them.
going to be going through just the ones with logos, or we're going to go back and forth?
Well, we can go through all of them real quick.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Okay, this is the first item. It's the American Pie Pizzeria. Comments, Mr. Jankowski?
No issues, and I'm okay with it, so I'm gonna recommend approval.
Okay, Ms. Keys?
I agree.
Okay, and I don't have issues with it right now then. All right. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion to approve as submitted.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Okay. Any opposed? None. That's approved. Next item is Angel Tips.
1 second. No.
18.
Oh, 18? Okay. Number 18? What's the number in the item right now?
Number 2. It's
Number, oh, okay. I apologize.
I tried to keep them in order.
Yeah, sorry. I had separated them out into 2 different files, thinking that we were going to go through the. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Who's talking?
Who's representing?
Mike Shiano. Mike, just
Oh, that's
identify
somewhere?
yourself.
Yeah, sure. I'm sorry. Michael Shiano from InterScience Research Associates. I've taken over this from Lisa.
Who took it over from Brian?
Just for the record.
Took it over from Brand. Yeah. And also with me is Sabrina Kelly from our office. We're going to be working on this stuff together.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the April for sign, please?
That's the sign.
Okay.
I keep
Well,
on
look,
thinking-
if you can't, if you're unable to get that one up on the screen, the board members have the actual hard copies of it. So we can work from that.
And there's no
logo,
there's
right?
no logo on this one, Michael, so
Right.
No,
recommend
there isn't, but
approval.
we're going to vote on all of this.
Each
anyway.
one? All right. I recommend approval.
Okay. Ms. Keys?
Fine. I agree.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded. Ms. Keys, you seconded it?
Yes, I second it.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve Angel Tips. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
That's okay, fine, done.
Good
Next
night.
is,
This
number
Tim
3 is
McCully.
AT&T.
Yeah, you can hear you.
This is Tim McCully. I just wanted to ask a question.
Yeah.
While you're going through this, I thought that you had said that you're only going to review the ones with logos. So are we going to go through every tenant that is below 8,000 now?
I would say you wouldn't have to, because I think at
Yeah.
least the planning board was on the page with no review with a logo. So without the logo, they would be fine with it too. So I would say you could skip the no logos at this point.
Yeah.
That would be my recommendation.
Doyle, do
If
you
the
agree?
planning board is okay with it, then that would be fine because you're recommending approval as well, so.
Right,
we wouldn't
okay,
have to-
fine. Then what one did?
I think there's 6 logos or 5 logos or something. We can go through those so that you're comfortable with what we're showing.
Okay, some of them have changed the typefaces, and that's the reason we originally went through it.
Okay, all right. I think they all fit within the parameters of the code. the color schemes and the way they're set up, but if you're not comfortable, then, it's up to you if you want to go through each one. I don't think it's necessary, but whatever.
Great.
You're gonna lose me in about 5 minutes. I have another meeting.
Okay, sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Okay, I've got to ask Ms. Doyle about Bridgehampton Wine Cellar. I think it was a change of name.
You're
So,
changing the name. If they're still within the same colors and it doesn't have a logo and it's under the 8,000 square feet, then that would be okay because it would
Okay,
conform
fine.
to the new master sign.
I'm just finding the ones without.
Do you want to pull it back up, Mike, and then we could
Sure.
go that way?
Sure.
Yeah,
So we're going just through the ones with logos now?
yeah, just go through the ones with logos.
Okay, so I have that all ready to go. So here we go.
All right, that one's done.
Right.
Okay, the AT&T, going to mention this. The AT&T on this logo, the logo they have here is actually larger than what they use for most of their stores. I would prefer if they would reduce their logo to the same size that they use in their other stores, which is it's a little larger than the lettering, but not as large as this. Mr. Jankowski, comments?
Yeah, I'm fine either way. If they make it smaller, because they're saying 10% of the sign, if they make it so that's the same size as the A, I'm good either way.
Okay, Ms. Keys?
I agree with Mr. Cherrier. So I agree with him.
Okay, then we would, on this particular one, we'd like to have it reduced. It can be a little larger than the lettering, but not as large as what's there. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
With the reduction and, okay, motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And then that would just be verified. We'd submit it and one of you would verify it?
Yes, yeah, since Mr. Rump can't, he's the lead for the area, you can send it to me and I can verify it.
Good.
Okay, the next one is Dunkin' Donuts. This is like their standard. I don't really have a problem with it at all. Mr. Jankowski?
No issues. I actually thought they were dropping the word donuts. I just thought they were going to go by Dunkin'.
Yeah, I
Either
was
way.
going to mention that. I believe that they are dropping the trademark donuts because they've kind of lost it. So it might wind up being the Cup and Dunkin'.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, all right, but this is
Either
what
way,
this is what we're given now, so that's what we're going to vote on.
That's okay.
yeah, recommend approval.
That's fine.
Okay, Ms. Keys?
Second the approval.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that one's done. Next is Go Health. Urgent care. Looking at it, I never liked the original sign. I thought it was just, it didn't really do too much for the building. So I prefer what they came up with, and the logo is in line with the proportions and design of the sign. So I have no problem with it. Mr. Jankowski?
No issues, recommend approval.
Okay, Ms. Keys?
Second the approval.
Okay, and Mr. Jankowski, you motion on the approval, correct?
Yeah, motion to approve as submitted.
Okay. Okay, motion has been made and seconded on this Go Health sign. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Okay. The next one is M&T Bank. And this is actually two signs and they're on two sides. I don't have a problem with either one of them. Mr. Jankowski?
No issues, recommend approval.
Okay, Ms. Keys?
Second that.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded to approve both of these signs. And I'm just looking at something. All right. Ms. Doyle, do we have to vote on these separately or can we do both at once?
You can do both at once.
Okay, fine. Okay, then this includes both signs, the one on the front and the one on the side. Motion is made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, good.
In there. 7.
Okay, this is different than what we were given, the Panera Bread. Looking at it. Now,
Conference.
Can,
Just 1 second, give us 1 second.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's different. Yes.
Was,
how is it different? What,
This one has the logo on it and the one that the board had previously received did not have a logo.
oh, for Panera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
are you,
Okay.
really? Because the one I'm looking at here in the paper has the logo on it.
well, what I have has no logo whatsoever. It's just the words.
Yeah.
Now that,
Sabrina, do you know the history of the submissions were with this? I mean, you just had looked through some of
With
the,
this,
yeah, yeah.
I didn't see it in an email that was sent to the planning board. This is what Lisa gave us.
Well, that's the whole point of why we're reviewing them too, Michael. So then just put it back on the screen, let us look at it.
Yeah, sure,
We can move
sure,
on.
of course.
Thank you. I think the whole purpose, this is Doris from Kimco Realty, 500 North Broadway, Jericho, New York. The purpose of the logos was to give our national brands the opportunity to have, their logo on their signage. So that might be the discrepancy between the original and that you have in front of you versus, what you're seeing on the screen at this moment.
Thanks, Bruce.
All right. Well, I like the Panera Bread side, the original one. It was cleaner looking. I would just like to have the logo reduced, I guess, to make it look a little cleaner. But I'm all right with it even as is. Mr. Jankowski?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. We kind of figured that some of these nationals are going to start putting them in, so, and it's subtle. So I recommend approval as submitted.
Okay, Ms. Keys?
I think it's fine, actually. And I agree with Mr. Cherry, but I think this one, it's going to be it will look fine.
Okay, and you second it?
Second it, sorry.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so Panera Bread
As is, right?
with the logo.
As with the logo, no reduction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no reduction.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, our dear friend Petco here. Okay,
This was there.
okay. Mine, I would like to have the logo reduced on this. Because prior they didn't have it. I'd like to have it in line, maybe a 15% reduction on the logo So it would be more in line with the actual lettering of it.
Did you say 50%
15.
or 15?
No,
15.
15 to 20, that's,
Okay,
because if you do 50%, it's going to be smaller than the lettering.
okay.
So would you prefer it to be the same height as the lettering?
No, I think it should be a little larger, but not as large as it is.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, if they can use that as a guide, that's my comment. Mr. Jankowski?
Yeah, because it's lowercase writing that they're using. So like slightly smaller, then I'm okay with.
Okay. Ms. Keys?
I agree.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
All right, motion to approve with a slightly smaller logo, reduction of 15 to 20%.
Okay.
Second.
Do I hear a second? Motion has been made and seconded to approve as the motion stated. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, fine. Next is we have Verizon. I have no issues with this at all.
Recommend approval.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and I think that,
Yeah.
I think that's all.
that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
And then the larger signs, the board did give comments at the last meeting. I think it was left that you wanted to review the package again, though, and the elevations. Do you want to just go through the larger ones quickly and vote on those?
Yes, yeah, we are going to have to because they have changed them. And if you could bring those up, please. We'll do Ultra first.
I think it's okay if I leave, right? You guys got this?
Okay, Ms.
Any
Shea,
questions for planning?
thank you very much.
Nope, good, thank you.
Okay, this is Ultra, and look at the existing and look at the proposed. It doesn't show it too well in this, but Ultra will, because of the siding color, you will be able to see it, I think, a little easier than the rendering shows.
Mhm.
And I don't have any issue with this at all. Mr. Jankowski,
No issue. Recommend approval.
Ms. Keith?
I'll second the approval.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded to approve Ultra. All those in favor? Aye. Okay, that's Ultra. The next one. King Cullen, I'm going to suggest that are they changing their color of their signage?
I believe so. I believe they are changing it. Which, you mean the main sign? So they're going from the existing blue to the proposed red, orange with the yellow crown over the eye. And all of the colors are in line with the board's recommended Pantone colors.
Yeah. No, I understand because King Cullen used to have red.
Mhm.
And I was just wondering if this is going to be more of an orange color or a red color.
I believe it is the red orange that is in the packet from the, in the board's recommended colors. So it is
I know it's in there, but is King Cullen changing? Because normally they had red as a color.
Right. I believe they normally would have red. However, for this, and Therese, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but they will be changing to the red orange in order to make it more uniform with the other red orange signs that will be used for the prototypical signs.
Correct. We're trying to make the colors as consistent as possible. So the prototype King Cullen color will be used, but we're trying to make the red orange be consistent throughout the center so that there's not too many variations of red.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I believe that the red that they normally use is outside the approved colors, and so we toned it down or something like that, Doris?
Yeah, we're trying to keep it consistent throughout the tenants.
Okay.
All right. Okay, regarding the size and the logo on it, and I see the Fresh Bakery open 24 hours. I don't have a problem with that at all. Mr. Jankowski?
No issues. Recommend approval as submitted.
Okay, Ms. Keys?
Second that.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded to approve King Cullen and the other auxiliary signs such as Fresh Bakery and open 24 hours. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, it's passed. Okay, the next one is Walgreens. And this one is usually a bright red, and that's going with the orange then, I assume.
Yep.
The red orange. Okay, I don't have any issue with it. Mr. Jankowski?
No issues. Recommend approval.
Okay.
Second it, please.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded on approving the Walgreens sign as submitted. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Okay. Okay, Staples.
Stained blue, right?
This is going from blue to white. It's the same as the Ultra, I believe. It'll be seen quite easily. I don't have any issues with it. And I recommend approval. Mr. Jankowski?
No issues. Recommend approval as submitted.
Okay. Ms. Keys?
I think she's on mute.
Ms. Keys?
I agree. Second it.
Okay. Motion has been made and seconded to approve the Staples sign as submitted. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Okay, that's done. Next is TJ Maxx.
Gives you more time.
All right.
But, yeah, no, the person's name, Nicholas something, and.
The thing that I would like to see is, I remember we went through this at one time a while ago. The TJ Maxx and the Marshall sign are going to be close together. Do you have the elevation of that?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, now, if there's any future ones that come up.
Somebody forgot to move themselves out. I think that's Claire.
I was.
Okay, I mean, we can do this with the Marshall sign, but I remember my comments prior, and I looked in my notes, was to reduce the Marshall sign so it would look in line with the TJ Maxx. Because as it looks now, it's quite a bit larger.
It is.
But let's go through with the TJ Maxx first.
Let me just check. So the Marshall sign is 3 foot 11 inches tall, and the TJ Maxx sign is 4 foot 9 inches tall.
Yeah. TJ Maxx is bigger, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's a little bit, by about a foot.
But look at the way it looks on the elevation.
Right.
I don't see the difference.
Yeah.
What?
The mass of the Marshall sign is much larger looking than the TJ Maxx.
Okay.
It may appear larger, but you have to understand that these are concepts. So they are not, exactly scaled. Because these are concept plans. These are not construction plans.
No, yeah.
So I'm sorry, are you saying that these are not the correct sizes listed here?
No, the sizes are listed correctly on the individual callouts that you
So
see.
that's what we're judging, right?
No,
think we're
it
judging the
looks,
concept
it
plan.
might be the same size, but the massing of Marshalls is much greater than the TJ Maxx.
Is that because the word Marshalls is all together and that's giving your eye that appearance?
Yeah,
What can we possibly do about that?
just reduce the Marshall sign by maybe 15% and that'll do it.
Well, if you're looking at the individual signs that on the other page, it shows that the Marshall sign is slightly smaller. If you look at the measurements. So these are the call outs. So this information is the accurate measurements.
Okay,
The other visual is conceptual. So it might not be exact to scale.
then you're
You'll see-
telling me that that they didn't have the actual proportions on the elevation?
Well, in this particular case, if you see the measurements here, it says it's 4'9". And then if you look at the other one, Marshall's, it's 3'11".
Yeah. Yeah, so it's quite a bit off.
Yeah, so if you need us to revise the other page that you were looking at to just scale it a little better, we can,
Yes,
if
would
that's
you?
what you need.
Yeah, I think we,
I also think that the difference of about a foot at the scale that we were looking at it, I think that it may be difficult to even see that size. So I'm not 100% certain whether that change would, like in the rendering would,
Right.
like, I don't know if you'd be able to see that kind of change.
Yeah.
I think we will because we're looking at massing too.
Right.
I mean, we're looking, and as the elevation shows, the Marshall sign looks much larger than the TJ Maxx.
Yeah, we can definitely adjust that.
I
for you.
think that is quite- then if you're telling me, I'm looking at the sizes, then no, it's not to scale at all. The Marshall sign is too large or the TJ Maxx sign is too small.
But we should go by the sizes that are on the scale because that's what it is. Is it, are you having a problem with what you're looking at now being out of scale?
Yes.
I think we got to go back to where what
Individual call outs.
what the size of the sign is. I think it could be in some kind
Here we
of
go.
lack of a better word, an optical illusion that you're seeing there.
Well, look, it doesn't.
Because the Marshall sign is going to be the size that is on
That's
the
listed.
plate, and it's going to look like a Marshall sign.
No, we understand that. We want it to scale though. We're
Yeah,
showing
we'll
it.
definitely send you a
It should be
updated
to
version
scale.
to scale.
Okay.
Look, the problem is in the past, we've had renderings or elevations that were not to scale and they were built, and this is just eliminating problems later on.
Okay.
Understood.
So as far as the Marshall sign is, you want it in scale with the TJ Maxx.
Yeah, I mean, you can submit these
So
to
then
later.
okay, then I think you can approve it that way, and I think when it comes in, based upon what I'm looking at on the sizes that are being shown and what we're giving you, that it will be in scale.
Well, fine, you can submit it to me directly. Just get it to scale, submit it to me and I can approve it. I'm the lead for the area.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fair.
Yeah, okay. And I'll ask the rest of the board. Mr. Jankowski, comments on this?
Yeah, I don't have any issues with it. I'm looking at the actuals, so I'm okay with it. I recommend approval as submitted.
With the with the drawing sent to scale?
Yeah, they can send a drawing so that we can look at it, but I'm just going by the measurements at 4'9" and the other one's 4 foot, that, yeah, send a drawing so you can look at it and then approve it, but I'm going with the numbers that that they have.
Okay, Ms. Keys?
I agree with the lead on this and thank you for taking the pieces when they come in.
Okay, thank you. All right, so depending on the drawings that are given, this is what the motion would be. Then we can approve the TJ Maxx and the Marshall sign.
Okay.
Everyone agree to that?
Yes.
Okay, fine. And I'm just thinking, Ms. Doyle?
Yes,
I don't know if she's,
still here.
okay. All right, how do we handle this? I get it and then approve it? They're gonna send revised drawings.
The signs do need to be approved by the entire board, but because it is a referral, you could come to consensus now, you know, that you're all in agreement. And then once
Yeah.
you get the elevations, the renderings again, you could approve it.
Okay, fine. And I can actually send it to the other two board members when I get it too.
Right.
Okay, fine. Because we had a original issue with this, with the TJ Maxx being way too large a while ago. And so that's one of the reasons we're re-looking at this.
And just, Mr. Chairman, if you get the elevations of the renderings and, you know, you don't agree with it, then I would bring it back before the board at another meeting, if you have
Okay.
any issues. And if you don't, then it would be okay.
All right, fine. So we can do that then. And do we vote on it now?
You can vote on it now.
Okay.
Vote to send your, you know, to recommend approval.
Okay. And that would be dependent on the drawings that are going to be sent to us.
Right.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Jankowski, you?
No, agree.
Oh, yeah, okay, fine. Okay, then the next one.
Chairman, just for a point of clarification, so you guys have approved the TJ Maxx sign, and you are wondering whether the massing of the Marshall sign is good. So once you review it, then the only thing that could potentially change theoretically would be the Marshall sign.
Correct, as long as the TJ is the same as you.
Right, so in the rendering.
Yes.
Right.
But
Okay.
we'd like to see a elevation of both signs.
Great.
To scale.
To
We
scale.
had original problems that where the TJ Maxx was much larger than the Marshalls. And we
Okay.
wanted both of them in proportion.
Understood.
So it's really a conditional approval, subject to the condition that you receive the elevations.
It's subject to us verifying what we're telling the board
Right.
so that they're comfortable with it. And if what we're saying is correct, then we're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Great.
And this is the Kmart sign. Okay, I have no issues with this. It's their standard logo. I'm looking at it and I don't see it much larger than any of the others. I would probably ask for maybe them to lower the sign a little bit because the top of their sign is hitting the lighting. And that's really not going to look that attractive. I would like to have it lowered below the lighting. That's my only comment. Mr. Jankowski?
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that. They're just gonna have to lower the top of the K, just so it's a little bit below the lighting.
Correct. They can reduce the whole thing or they can just lower it, one of the two. Ms. Keys?
I agree.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve on that basis with those conditions?
Yeah, motion to approve as submitted, just lowering the K below the, where the lights are.
Okay, or reducing the size if they want to do that. I don't know. I want to give them as much flexibility as possible.
So you don't want the lights overhanging the actual sign.
Yeah, they're butting up against it, and that's
Okay, all right, all right.
And if Kmart wants to keep it up higher, then they can just reduce the sign, you know. But not have it all the way up to the lighting.
Okay. Okay,
Okay, motion has been made. Was it seconded? Ms. Keys, did you second?
Seconded. Yes.
Motion has been made and seconded with the conditions on the Kmart sign. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Opposed? None.
None.
Okay. And the next one?
No, that's it.
that's it.
That's it. Okay.
That's it. Thank you very much for your accommodations. I appreciate it.
Okay,
Thank
fine.
you.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Okay, is there any other items to come before the board? If none, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
Second.
I hear a second.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor, aye.